Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are going to unpack how a genuinely revolutionary new HVAC architecture is completely changing the game for commercial developments. We're zeroing in on the adaptive hybrid HVAC system for hotels, specifically looking at the VMF platform. If you're involved in developing, designing, or engineering modern buildings, you already know that managing the indoor climate is easily one of your absolute biggest headaches. Well, today we're going to see how a single, highly adaptive system is totally replacing those outdated, fragmented approaches we've relied on for way too long. Okay, so let's just dive right into this by asking a pretty tough question about your current building design. Are you actually paying good money to throw away perfectly good energy? I know, it sounds totally counterintuitive, right? Why would anyone do that? But when we look at the hard data and the conventional engineering models used in hospitality today, you might be shocked to find that traditional designs are literally built to waste energy. Let's find out exactly why that is, and more importantly, how we fix it. Here is our quick roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The Fragmented Hotel Dilemma. 2. VMF, the Integrated Solution. 3. How energy sharing works. 4. Traditional versus VMF performance. And finally, number 5, submit your project today. Let's jump right into section 1, the fragmented hotel dilemma. Think about it for a second. A hotel isn't just one uniform environment, not even close. It is basically a chaotic mix of highly variable zones. You've got super humid indoor pools, blazing hot restaurant kitchens, quiet guest rooms that need steady cooling, and crowded lobbies that desperately need fresh air. All of these spaces are demanding totally different climates at the exact same time. Oh, and on top of all that, you have a massive, continuous, non-negotiable demand for domestic hot water. And the real kicker here is that the occupancy in every single one of these zones is shifting constantly throughout the day. It's a moving target. And this quote perfectly nails the core issue. If you treat a hotel like a single, static building, you will inevitably end up oversizing your system centrally and wasting just massive amounts of energy. Conventional setups try to treat all these diverse zones separately, or worse, they try to force them all into one oversized, inflexible central system. What does that lead to? Massive ceiling congestion, huge operational headaches, and incredible inefficiency. You are literally paying to cool down one room while simultaneously paying to fire up a boiler to heat the room right next door. Which brings us nicely to section 2, VMF, the Integrated Solution. Now notice the stark visual contrast happening here. We're moving away from those separate, totally disconnected systems that just crowd up your CLIMs over to one unified, simplified VMF platform. Up top, you've got the old, fragmented infrastructure, separate VRF units, air handlers, and boilers that completely ignore each other. They don't communicate, and they certainly don't share energy. But below that, that's the beauty of integration. You get reduced air volume, which means smaller ducts, fewer vertical shafts eating up your valuable real estate, and a drastically cleaner ceiling layout. So what is it exactly? Well, VMF doesn't just condition air in isolated silos. It dynamically adapts to real-time occupancy and connects every single zone so they can actually work together intelligently. Instead of a messy array of random equipment, this hybrid concept brings the whole shebang under one umbrella. It prioritizes internal energy balancing. This means the system looks at the entire building's needs second by second, adapting its control to match what's actually happening, rather than relying on some assumed maximum peak capacity. Let's move to section 3, how energy sharing works. Let's see this in action. Okay, so instead of forcefully rejecting the heat generated from, say, cooling down a guest room, the VMF system literally captures that excess energy. It holds on to it, and then redistributes it to heat the indoor pool or to produce domestic hot water simultaneously. Let's really walk through that logic. Say a guest cranks the AC in their room. A traditional system takes that heat, vents it outside into the atmosphere, and throws it away. Gone. The VMF system says, wait, I need that. It captures that exact same heat and funnels it directly into your domestic hot water supply or the lobby's heating system. Energy isn't wasted between zones anymore. It is completely redistributed. This effectively gives you one incredibly robust platform handling absolutely everything. We're talking space heating, space cooling, sanitary hot water production, 100% fresh air ventilation, and that absolutely crucial summer humidity control. And the best part? It's all monitored seamlessly by an integrated central building management system, so your facilities team has total visibility at all times. All right, section 4, traditional versus VMF performance. Let's talk numbers. When we put these two head-to-head, it's pretty clear. Traditional infrastructure is heavy, it's fragmented, and it has super high infrastructure dependency. Traditional systems suffer from terrible energy management because they literally cannot recover heat across different zones. The VMF platform's hybrid distribution completely solves this by using compact water-based energy transport. Because water is just a vastly more efficient medium for carrying thermal energy than air is, your architectural layout instantly gets the benefit of smaller ductwork and a much cleaner, less complicated ceiling. And because you are constantly redistributing energy rather than burning fuel to generate it from scratch every time, you achieve a massive 75 to 100% reduction in wasted energy consumption compared to standard baselines. I really want to let that sink in for a second. By simply changing the architecture of how your building's climate is managed and utilizing simultaneous cooling and hot water production, you are effectively wiping out up to 100% of the wasted energy you typically see in standard VRF and air handling unit combinations. Furthermore, because the system balances these internal loads so efficiently, you can actively reduce your installed peak power by 50 to 75%. This is an absolute game changer for capital expenditure. Because you aren't sizing separate, isolated systems for the absolute maximum hypothetical peak of every single individual zone all at once, your total installed capacity is radically smaller. It actually matches the real, dynamic, day-to-day loads of the hotel. So the bottom line here is that this isn't just an engineering victory, it is a profound business advantage. HVAC is consistently one of the single largest operational costs in any hotel. By drastically cutting capital expenditures and streamlining operational complexity, you are directly improving the bottom line profitability of the property, and you're doing it without ever sacrificing guest comfort. Plus, smaller equipment means you reclaim significant roof space for amenities or solar panels, and the all-in-one nature of VMF means a much lower ongoing maintenance effort. Let's wrap things up with Section 5, Submit Your Project Today. If you're an architect, an engineer, or a developer, specifically working on institutional or commercial projects in the UK or across Africa, listen up, because this opportunity is directly calling for you. We're looking at a direct call for innovators, developers, and edge experts operating in these specific target geographies who are serious about building smarter, greener futures. Projects that are selected are going to receive full technical support, direct guidance for edge certification, and a turnkey VMF proposal. So pull out your smartphone, scan the code you're seeing right now, and start preparing your submission. This is an amazing opportunity to not only right-size the VMF system for your specific project, but to get comprehensive expert support in making your next building a truly bankable, highly efficient green asset. I'm going to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. In a world where energy efficiency is quickly becoming the absolute ultimate baseline, are you ready to stop following outdated trends and start actually developing the smart, bankable green buildings of the future? The technology to stop throwing away energy and start sharing it internally is already here. The only real question is, are you going to use it on your next build? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this deep dive into the VMF Adaptive Platform has sparked some major inspiration for your upcoming projects. Catch you next time.